Welcome. Today I have an amazing story for you. This is a true story, a story about a poor fisherman, a fisherman who lived by the ocean. His name was Marco. Marco was 45 years old. He lived in a small village in the Philippines. Every day, Marco woke up at 4 a.m. He took his small boat and went fishing. He caught fish, small fish. He sold them at the market for very little money. This was his life for 30 years. Wake up, go fishing, sell fish, come home, sleep. Repeat. Marco was not unhappy, but he was tired of being poor, tired of working so hard for so little money. He had a wife and 3 children. His children wanted to go to school, but school costs money. Money Marco did not have. His wife was sick. She needed medicine, but medicine costs money. Money Marco did not have. Every night, Marco looked at his family and felt sad. He worked so hard, but it was never enough. Never enough money, never enough food, never enough of anything. One morning, Marco woke up early, like every morning, 4 a.m. He took his boat and went to the ocean. The water was calm. The sky was dark. Marco threw his net into the water and waited. He waited for 1 hour. Then he pulled the net up, but the net was very heavy, too heavy. Marco struggled. He pulled harder. Finally, the net came up, but there were no fish. Instead, there was something else, something big, something heavy. It was covered in mud and seaweed. Marco could not see what it was. He pulled it into his boat. The thing was huge, maybe 50 kilograms. Marco was confused. What is this? He started cleaning the mud and seaweed. Slowly, he could see. It was not a rock. It was not wood. It was something smooth, something unusual. Marco cleaned more, and then he saw. It was orange, bright orange, and it smelled strange, very strange, like nothing Marco had ever smelled. Marco did not know what it was, but he took it home. At home, Marco showed his wife. She did not know what it was. They asked their neighbors. Nobody knew. One neighbor said, "Maybe it is trash, throw it away." But Marco did not throw it away. Something told him, this thing is important. Marco took the thing to the village. He asked everyone, "What is this?" Finally, an old man looked at it. The old man's eyes got very big, very big. He said, "Marco, do you know what this is?" Marco said, "No, what is it?" The old man said, "This is ambergris." Marco said, "What is ambergris?" The old man explained, "Ambergris comes from whales, sperm whales. Sometimes whales get sick. They vomit something. That something floats in the ocean for many years, maybe 10 years, maybe 20 years. The sun, the salt, the water, they change it. It becomes ambergris. And ambergris is very valuable, very, very valuable. People use it to make perfume, expensive perfume." Marco asked, "How valuable?" The old man said, "Very valuable. You must take it to the city, to an expert. They will tell you." Marco was nervous. He had never been to the city. The city was big and scary, but he had to know, is this thing really valuable? Marco took a bus to the city. He carried the ambergris in a big bag. It was heavy, very heavy. In the city, Marco did not know where to go. He asked people, "Where can I sell ambergris?" Most people did not know, but one man said, "Go to the perfume district. There are buyers there." Marco went to the perfume district. He found a shop that buys ambergris. Marco was shaking. He was so nervous. He walked into the shop. A man in a suit looked at him. The man asked, "Can I help you?" Marco said, "I have ambergris. I want to sell it." The man looked interested. "Show me," he said. Marco opened his bag. He showed the ambergris. The man's face changed. His eyes got big. He picked up the ambergris. He smelled it. He waited. He tested it. Then he looked at Marco. He said, "This is real. This is high-quality ambergris. How much do you have?" Marco said, "This is all, 50 kilograms." The man was quiet. Then he said, "I will buy it. How much do you want?" Marco did not know. He had no idea. "How much is ambergris worth?" He said, "How much will you pay?" The man thought. Then he said, "I will give you $50,000. Marco almost fainted. $50,000? Marco had never seen so much money in his whole life. His hands started shaking. He said, "$50,000? Yes," the man said, "but I need to test it more. Come back tomorrow." Marco left the shop. He could not believe it. $50,000. That was more money than Marco could earn in 10 years of fishing, maybe 20 years. Marco did not sleep that night. He was too excited, too nervous. What if it was a dream? What if the man changed his mind? The next morning, Marco went back to the shop. The man was waiting. He said, "I tested it. Your ambergris is of very high quality, very pure. I will give you more. I will give you $80,000. Marco could not speak. He could not breathe. $80,000? The man said, "But I can only give you $70,000 now, the rest in 1 week. Is that okay?" Marco nodded. He could not speak. The man wrote a check, $70,000. Marco took the check. His hands were shaking. He said, "Thank you," many times. "Thank you, thank you, thank you." Marco went to the bank. He cashed the check. The money was real. It was not a dream. Marco cried. Right there in the bank. He cried for the first time in many years. Marco cried, but these were happy tears. Marco took the money home. His wife saw the money. She started crying too. Marco said, "We are not poor anymore. We can buy medicine for you. We can send the children to school. We can buy a new house. We can have a better life." His wife hugged him. The children hugged him. They were so happy, so happy. Marco did not forget his promise. 1 week later, he went back to the shop. The man gave him the rest, $10,000. Now Marco had $80,000. Marco used the money wisely. First, he bought medicine for his wife, good medicine. She started getting better. Then he paid for his children's school, all 3 children. Then he bought a bigger fishing boat, a better boat with a motor. Now Marco could fish better, catch more fish, make more money. He bought a small house, a nice house, with a real roof and electricity. Marco's life changed completely, all because of one thing, one piece of ambergris that he found in the ocean. But Marco did not forget where he came from. He remembered being poor. He remembered struggling. So Marco started helping others. He hired fishermen from his village. He paid them good money. He helped families who could not afford food or medicine or school. Marco became known in his village as a generous man, a kind man. People respected him, not because he had money, but because he used his money to help others. Marco still wakes up early at 4 a.m. He still goes fishing, but now he goes because he loves it, not because he has to. He loves the ocean, he loves the sunrise, he loves the peace. Marco says, "Finding the ambergris was luck, but what I did with the money, that was my choice. I chose to be grateful. I chose to help others. I chose to stay humble. And that choice made me truly rich. Not the money, but the choice." So, what can we learn from Marco's story? Many things. First, we learn luck can change your life, but only if you are ready. Marco worked hard for 30 years, every single day. He never gave up, and when luck came, he was ready. Second, we learn money is not everything. Marco could have wasted the money on expensive things, on parties, on showing off, but he used it wisely. He helped his family. He helped others. Third, we learn stay humble.
Marco did not become proud. He did not forget his past. He remembered where he came from, and that made him a better person. Fourth, we learn hard work matters. Even when life is hard, even when you are tired, keep working, keep trying, because you never know when will your luck come. Marco fished for 30 years, and on one ordinary morning, his life changed forever. Now, let me teach you some important words from this story. The word fisherman. A fisherman is a person who catches fish. Marco was a fisherman. The word ocean. The ocean is a very big area of salt water. Marco fished in the ocean. The word valuable. Valuable means worth a lot of money. The ambergris was valuable. The word perfume. Perfume is a liquid